Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech for Tech Tech Talk. First of all, if you can actually see us and hear us, please comment, and that way, obviously, we'll know we're live and we're not just talking to ourselves. So, today's show is about Cougar Gaming and basically who are they? And we've got Martin on the show tonight, and he's going to basically tell us exactly what they are and what they do. So, Martin, if you want to start us off, introduce yourself, let us know who you are, what you actually do, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Hi, everybody. So I'm Martin Wood. I represent Cougar Gaming. So I'm the sales manager for the UK. Cougar is a gaming components and peripheral brand. Launched in the last, launched back into the UK about 2 years ago. So we've endured the pandemic all the way through the relaunch.
Okay, that sounds pretty good, and I think everyone's had a tough time over the last 2 or 3 years, so you've done
They
pretty
certainly
well then.
have. Yeah, they certainly have. It's been challenging times.
Right, there we go. Right, guys, we've had a few technical issues before the show, so it's we are a few minutes behind. So, but hopefully, fingers crossed, everything should be all right. Again, if you are obviously watching, feel free to comment. Let us know who you are, where you're viewing from, and so forth. If you're struggling to see the actual stream for whatever reason, you can always view it on YouTube as well. That's usually the cleanest place to watch it. It has less issues. Facebook is a bit temperamental now and again and doesn't always show the comments. But the YouTube address, let me just stick that on the screen so you can all see it. If it's going to come on, there we go. So just go to there and just click on the button what says live and you'll be able to see it. So we've got Richard Creedy watching and we've got a Carl Woods watching as well. So evening, guys.
Good evening,
So
guys. Good evening, Carl. Hope you're
there we
well.
go. So, but otherwise, if you are watching, please comment so we know, obviously, you are there. Right. Okay, Martin, you're going to basically show us basically what your Cougar's all about and so forth. So I'm
I
going to
am
let you
indeed.
run your presentation. You may have to press share screen again, and then we should be away. And then we'll do a live Q&A afterwards. So if anyone's got any questions, like where you can get Cougar stuff from, what warranty information, and different bits and bobs like that you want to know, well, we'll do that all after the show. So if you've got any questions, just send them in.
Yeah,
Okay, Martin, if you want to do your share screen.
yeah. The icons disappeared, Phil, for sharing screen on the browser. Believe it or not.
Oh, typical.
Yeah. All right. That's all right. I'm back. I'm back.
You've got it,
Yeah.
hopefully. Here we go.
Technical
And I'm
technical difficulties this evening, right?
right, there we go. So look, I'm going to turn the chat off on the side, guys, but I will be able to see the chat afterwards. So feel free to comment, and I'll obviously chase it up when we do the Q&A. So here we go. So I'll let you go ahead then, Martin. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Okay, so what I've done is I've put a little presentation together, just a little bit about Cougar, the background of who we are, and where we were born from, and then a little bit about the products that we obviously sell in the UK. So, who are Cougar? So, our the parent company as such is CompuCase Enterprises. Some of you who've been in the IT market for as long as I have will remember the beige cases that used to be imported into the UK many moons ago, before RGB was a thing. 41 years. Obviously, well, it's actually more than that now. They've been found. So we have actually got our own factories in Taiwan, which is a little bit different to some of our competitors who just work with factories. We also have another business called Heck. Now, some of you may know Heck, some may not. Heck's actually our PSU factory, very well known. They used to OEM PSUs for many of the brands you know and love now. So what they decided back in 2007 was to launch their own brand. So rather than supplying the competition as such was to bring their own brand into the market. So Cougar Gaming was born 2007. It's owned outright by CompuCase Enterprise. So 2007, we launched Case, PSU, and cooling fans. So the main three components, are, and then very very successful. Uh, Ran for 7 years, and then they launched Peripherals. Now, obviously, the Peripherals is a very competitive market. Uh, but they've got some good quality products out there. 2016 headsets came and gaming chairs, and then 2018 we started the all-in-one and audio devices, and then 2020. Sorry, for some reason I put gaming chairs twice. 2020 came gaming desks, which I will move on to very shortly. So that's just a little bit of background about Cougar, uh, and where they were born from and who they are. I mean, if you're interested in revenue numbers, so they're a 200 million plus turnover business, so very very successful. So what are we? So it do you know? I mean, I won't read the slides as such, but basically, we want to bring good, quality products out to the market at a very good price point. You know, and obviously provide the products that give a full and rich gaming experience. So, talking a little bit about case, so we cover many facets of the case market. So we have some of the most iconic, I would say, cases that you see on the likes of Instagram, Twitter, and obviously now TikTok as such. So um, uh, the Blazer, which is an open frame, all aluminium, all glass, very very heavy. Uh, and some of you may remember the Conquer, the original Conquer case, which some of our competitors have uh, definitely brought cases out very, very similar. And what you'll see is a lot of modders will take these cases and turn them into something even more special, with the likes of 3D printing technology, further lights, and that sort of thing. And then we cover all the form factors really. So extended ATX, so the large cases, for the people that want to do, you know, bespoke cooling rigs and that sort of thing. ATX, for the more standard sort of mid tower range. We cover micro ATX, and we've also got a couple of mini ITX products as well in that range. So, uh, as I mentioned, obviously the Conquer and the Conquer 2 is our most iconic case. The Conquer 2 is it's a beast. It weighs about 25 kilos. So, yeah, if DPD is delivering, let them know. Um, at the open frames like the Blazer, and we also do the Blazer Essence, which is a smaller version of it. Again, they're not necessarily a mainstream product because they're open frame, but very much for events and that sort of thing, and modding, as I said. And that's a little Blazer Essence. So I'm going to talk now about obviously case PSU and cooling. I'm not going to go into huge amounts of details here. All the information is available on our website. But I'm just going to talk through some of the most popular cases we've got now, and why they're popular, and some of the features in there. So the MX410 Mesh G RGB. What you'll notice with Cougar, just before I move on, is if you do check our website out, we do have a number of cases, in a range. So the MX410 series, I think, has 6 different cases in the range, because they try and tailor for each market, and whether some SIs might not want all the RGB because they might want to put their own RGB solutions in there as such. There's always a vast range. What we tend to do in the UK since we launched is bring out the most popular, most feature-rich cases. So the MX410 Mesh G RGB has been one of our most popular cases. Uh, Before, obviously, the pandemic started and logistics went crazy, this was actually a 42.99 case. For 42.99, you're getting 4 ARGB fans in there. You get a controller in there. You also get the ARGB strips down the side that you'll see on the image there. So lots of RGB. Obviously, glass panel, 4mm glass panel on the side. You know, a lot of our competition tend to use a thinner glass on the budget cases. But what you'll find with Cougar is, you know, even on the budget cases, uh, the metals they use, the thickness of the metals, you know, the air filters are all magnetic. So, you know, even though it's a budget case, they do try and make it as feature rich as possible. This is available right now in the UK. Uh, the Blader X5 is a relatively new case. I know Phil's got one, and there'll be a review coming on that very soon. And this is for the more discerning, who doesn't want RGB in your face. It comes with a bit of an opaque kind of front, so you can't see the RGB quite as bright and vibrant as much. But again, um, uh, you know, 3 ARGB fans, comes with a controller, and you know, it's you know, full ATX. Lots of cooling potential in there, you know, and lots of good airflow. The MX660. So again, there's a number of different versions of this, but um, we only brought the mesh into the market because, well, for one, I think it looks the coolest. Again, we've got 3 ARGB fans in there, and it's all mesh fronted. The MX440, again, there's 2 versions. So there's a mesh version and one with an acrylic front panel, all glass panel sides, and again, lots of ARGB fans in there. Lots of space, you know, for your cooling products. Really good airflow, you know, especially in the mesh version in there. Obviously, if you've got any questions whilst I'm going through these, please just type away or shout up. Uh, so this gives you an idea of you know, some of our mid-tower gaming cases uh, that we've got out at the moment, and a sneak preview at some of the new cases, the new releases. So the Archon 2 is already in the market. It's already selling well. Again, it's an entry-level price point case with not entry-level features. So again, 3 ARGB fans with PSU shroud, ARGB controller, and it's mesh fronted as well. There is a white version, but you know, as we all know with white, it's you know, it's very much down to fashion. You know, white sometimes sells, and then it just, you know, it doesn't for a while. Uh, the Dust 2, the name is not related to the amount of dust it gets in it. It's apparently it's a map from Counter Strike for all you gamers out there. Now, the Dust 2 is a mini ITX case. Some of you may remember the Cougar QBX case that's been a hot seller for a good number of years. It's been out in the market for as long as I can remember. Uh, Very well built. You know, it's an interesting build, really easy to build into because of the way it's designed. And the Dust 2 is, you know, is the next incarnation of that. You know, it's got the handles on it, so you can use it as a LAN case, or if you're a gamer who wants to go around to your mate's house, put it on a network and play local. And it's full of features. It will take a 240 all-in-one cooler in there. It takes a full-size power supply as well, so you don't need to spend the money on an SFX, you know, power supply. Again, this is in the market already and already started to sell. The MG140 and the MX430 make up a new family and design. Now, the first batch of MG140s that actually were sold before they even landed. So we're just waiting on new stocks, and obviously with Chinese New Year and the pandemic and everything, it's obviously been delayed. But we've got new stock coming. It's likely to land in the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks or so. Uh, so the MG 140 Air is a micro ATX case, and the MX 430 Air is a mid-tower ATX case. But it makes up part of the family. Lots of features, really good airflow, an interesting vented design on the front. Uh, it comes with two ARGB fans in the front and one in the rear. And the final one is a Purity, which is a brand new release. It was only added to our website. I think it was this week. So stock will be incoming on that very soon. If there's any questions on cases, please just fire away.
I'll just stop you there 1 sec, Martin. So you
Yep,
do have one question. I might as well ask
I
it you
I,
while you're here.
I did see
Um,
that one. Which
oh, you did
distributors are
actually
they?
see it.
I did, yeah, yeah. I was
I
just about to
wasn't
come
sure
on.
with the technical issues we've been having if you saw it or
No,
not,
I've managed to
but
sort that out.
I'll read it out anyway, so that, anyone who's listening rather than watching can actually knows what it is. The question is who are the UK official distributors for Cougar?
So the UK official distributors, we work with VIP Computers. So VIP is a relatively new distributor to us. We started working with them at the back end of last year. So they're slowly, obviously, increasing their stock levels. Um, and obviously, I hope you all know VIP, great team up there, know their stuff. Got a great distribution manager up there as well. And then our other distributor is Boss. So Boss obviously doing them for us as well. They hold really good stock levels, uh, and I mean, obviously, it means you've got the choice. Depending on who you prefer. Um, but they all carry the same pricing, as I say, it's entirely up to you who you obviously work with.
Absolutely fine. We did have a show a few weeks ago, guys. If you want to check it out, it was with VIP, and we've all got a few other shows coming up with VIP as well. So if you want to know more about them, check that out. So I'll let you get back on with it now, Martin.
Perfect. So moving on to Cougar PSU. Now, I mean, obviously, because we are a PSU manufacturer, we have a vast range. Now, I've worked in this market for a long, long time, so I know the PSU market inside out. And what we decided when we launched Cougar back into the UK after its, uh, after the brand taking a little bit of time out, was we weren't going to bring in the full range of PSUs because there was just too many. Just absolute crazy. Lots of 80 plus whites, silvers, golds, bronze. All the way up to obviously platinum in there. So what we've done is we've brought a good quality range in. So we have the 80 plus gold range, which is a GEX. Uh, we carry the 650, 750, and 850 in there, and there's a 1050 coming for anybody who wants to mine. And Obviously the new cars that are coming out as well are a little bit more power hungry, should we say. The old Japanese capacitors, uh, zero fan design, up to about 40% load. Very tight regulations on the voltages. Just a very good quality PSU. If you check out the likes of eTechnics and Phil has done it, there's some good reviews out there, so you can check those out. So obviously that's the gold range. We've also got the XTC range, which is actually pretty interesting for anybody who's building PCs because it's an SI product. So it actually comes non-retail packaged. So it saves you a little bit of money there. Again, really good price point. And we have the 500 and 600, the new versions that are coming out. So the next load that'll be arriving on the container, there's an extra 50 watts of power in there for you. So it'll be a 550, 650, and potentially a 750. We haven't decided on that yet. What we normally find is when somebody wants to increase the wattage, they would normally go up the range to maybe a bronze. Did I say bronze? So, our other range that we have in the market is the VTE range, which is a 80 plus bronze product. Uh, Again, good price point. It's bang for buck. You know, uh, so yeah, I mean that's our PSU range at the moment. As I say, we've got a 1050 coming out, and we've got the platinum range, which is just launching called the Polar, which will be coming, it'll be coming to the UK market soon. Then we go on to our cooling products. So currently, at the moment, we have three different ranges. So the Hellar is it's an all singing, all dancing. It's all ARGB. It's at the higher end of the market, so it does compete with some of the more known names in the cooling market in terms of performance. And price wise, we always tend to be a little bit cheaper, mainly because we've got our own factories there. At the bottom of our range, as such, is the Aqua. So that again, I mean, it is ARGB, but it's just on the pump. It does come with black fans, so you may decide you want to add um, fans to match if you're doing builds as such. And then the Aqua ARGB, which is it's a newer product. Again, that's full ARGB, so it comes with either two or three fans, depending on whether it's a 240, 280, or a 360. Price point wise, it's a really good bang for buck, and it performs really well. There are reviews out there, so check them out. And then fan wise, we have a number of fan kits, ranging from kind of your entry level price point all the way up to like your, um, premium high end price point. Now, I was talking price point wise, you can still buy a fan kit from us for around £35, which is three fans and a controller in there. Uh, and then we've also got obviously fans that we sell as well. So if you do want extra fans, uh, at, to match up your build, match up your rig, then you can also purchase just extra fans on their own as well, and they're carried by both distributors. So I'm going to touch a little bit on peripherals now, just to give you a little bit of you know a feeling of where we came from. Is the peripheral market is saturated. So many brands out there have launched a keyboard or a mouse because it's relatively easy to enter the market if you're just buying off the shelf and rebranding. And what we wanted to do was rebuild the brand in the UK with the main components, which is obviously PSU case and cooling. But we do have a peripheral range, and it's quite a vast range. So again, it was like, do we bring it all in? And to start with, we did, and we've kind of played around with this range a little bit. There are some new products coming out, and they will be hitting the UK market probably around mid-year. So I'll give you just a little bit of an overview of, if you can see that, there's quite a few on there, so it's quite small. But we've got the premium end of the market, which is your all singing, all dancing, sort of 700k. The Attack X3 we have on special offer at the moment. It's been on special offer for a good few months. I think we dropped it last year around Black Friday, and we've left it, obviously because of the cost of logistics, etc. Because we had them in the market, we have a really good price point on those. So if you're looking for a mechanical RGB keyboard, the Attack X3 is a really good price point for the features on there. I won't go through the full range, guys, because it's all available on our website, and obviously you can talk to distributors about it as well. But as I say, we've got some new interesting products coming out. So the Slice, which is a really interesting product. I think it's probably the thinnest keyboard, mechanical keyboard that I've actually seen in the market. So that's going to be quite interesting. And then we've got the Puri. Puri comes with an actual a keyboard cover, so really good for anybody who's going to LAN events and that sort of thing. So there is a full range there. We're bringing out uh, some new bundles as well. I know some of you SIs out there really like bundles because it's keyboard, mouse, and mouse mats as a bundle. Very easy to add on as an upsell.
Okay,
Strange.
guys, just to let you, sorry to interrupt, Martin. We'll get to a lot of the questions after the presentation because I've got a lot of questions come from one of the streams which isn't showing on the screen. So we do have quite a few to go through, but we'll get to you, Linux Lover 84, in a few minutes, and anyone else who's got a few questions. And we'll go through them all and basically see what Martin or Cougar has to say about them. So I don't
Yep.
think it's too far towards the end of the presentation anyway. But
No, not at all.
we'll get back
We're
to them.
getting there. So again, we have headsets in the range. All the way from in ears, lots of different types of over ears, and even Bluetooth as well. New ranges coming out, as you can probably see behind me. There's a number of new products: the HX330, the VM410. Thanks, Phil. uh,
Nice
so
big
lots of
picture of you there, Martin.
Yeah. Hi, guys. So, yeah, lots of new products coming out on there. We're even starting to obviously bring streaming products out as well because the streaming market, as we all know, has taken off over the last few years. So we've even got the Screamer X, which is a streaming microphone. It stands up really well. I'm sure I'll get one of these to you, Phil, so you can have a play with it at some point.
Definitely, I'm
Okay.
going to say I'd like to have a look at one of those.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I'd be interested in your feedback. So, some of you may or may not know, we've moved into the furniture market. You know, not only do we want to take the technology market by storm, but furniture is the next thing. So, uh, we launched gaming chairs. I think it was back in 2017 or 2016. But the gaming chair market really took off for us 2019, 2020. Some of that will obviously be because of the pandemic. Uh, so the gaming chair and gaming desk market share for Cougar now, within their organization, it equates to about 20% of their turnover. So it's a real serious market for us. Uh, we have many chairs. Now, again, we haven't brought them all in the market. As you may or may not know, the UK has different fire retardancy laws to the rest of the EU, even when we were still in the EU. And obviously, there's an extra cost for that extra fire retardancy. So what we started with, we brought the Armour S into the market, which is the one that I'm sat on now. Super comfortable chair. I can sit for. Let me get up and show you. It's it is a really comfortable chair. I can sit in my office for 8 to 10 hours at a time, and yeah, I get no butt ache. So we've just got the four different actual products in the market. So we've got the Armour S, the Armour S Royal, and then two different versions of the Armour one, which is kind of our entry level case. So entry level price point is about sort of 179 RRP, up to about 199, depending on the dollar rate. And who's got promotions on, etc. We've just had word from HQ that we've got some new chairs with UK fire retardancy. So we're going to be bringing out the sofa, which is the Ranger, or the new Ranger, and the Argo S, which is coming into the market. The Argo S is, even though it's a gaming chair, it's super ergonomic. So it works very well as an office chair. as well as as people just want to sit there and game all evening. And the Terminator has just launched into the market. I think you can all guess why it's called the Terminator. It's got one hell of a spine on it. But again, I mean, it's an interesting product. It will be coming to the UK at some point, just as a flagship product. So that's the Argo S that I was just mentioning to you there. So it's a lot more ergonomic than a standard gaming chair. Finally, guys, I hope you're still all awake and with me. I just want to talk a little bit about gaming desks. It's a new market for me. I've been in this market 20 odd years, so I've kind of been there, seen it, done it all. But gaming desk was something new to us. So when we launched gaming desks in the UK, it was the Mars 120 and the Mars. So the Mars is a 150 centimeter desk. Comes with USB hubs on it. Obviously got RGB because why not? It's got power switches on it, and all the controllers on the desk as well. These are super good quality desks. Really strong, well built, put together. And we have just recently launched the Mars Pro 120 and the Pro 150. Stock landed with us a few weeks ago, I think it was. In fact, it might be a month or so ago. So we've got the Pro 120 and the Pro 150 in the market now. And there is an electric desk coming as well for any of you guys who've got money to burn. So it'll actually, it actually goes up and down by the power of electric. So that's presentation, guys. Just a little bit of Cougar. I hope that's kind of give you a little bit of an insight into into the brand and obviously some of the products in there. If you want to know more about Cougar, obviously please check our website out. There's lots of good information on there, lots of videos. That's one thing we do really well. There's lots of product videos. So if you want to use them on your own website, anything like that, obviously go ahead and do so.
Good idea for turn my microphone back on. There we go. That was a good presentation. So we'll go on to the question and answers now. So if anyone has got any questions for Cougar or specifically Martin, then obviously send them over. I do have actually around about 13 or 14 questions here. So they haven't come through on the normal chat because Facebook's been a pain in the backside. Normal technical issues, as I was saying at the start of the show. But anyway, so let's go to Linux or Linux Lover, depending on how you want to pronounce it. He's basically asking, is there a new Challenger case coming out anytime soon?
So actually, you're teaching me something there, Linux Lover, because I don't actually know the Challenger case. Yeah, I mean, I can't comment on that particular case, but as far as I'm aware, there isn't a new Challenger case coming out. I feel like jumping on my website now and actually looking
it up to see what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just bear with me a second, guys.
That's no problem. Again, guys, if there's anything you want to ask, feel free to ask. Obviously, these items are available at VIP Distribution, which is also one of our sponsors at the moment. Not that it has anything to do with the show, but just gives you a rough idea. If you're wanting to get hold of them and you want to know how to get in touch with VIP, just let us know.
That's an interesting looking case. I have indeed. Yeah, that's an interesting looking case. I mean, to be honest, guys, I mean, if I get to do another one of these, I've got a roadmap for 2022 into 2023. So there's some pretty interesting products coming out. Nothing that quite looks like the Challenger, but yeah, I mean, interesting, different designs.
I've just looked that one up as well, and I do recognise that one actually from a few years gone past. That's for sure. It does ring a few bells. That one.
Yeah,
that's big orange bits on the front, but
yeah. Well, we love our orange.
That's it. So that's obviously one thing. If you don't like orange, tough luck because you're going to get plenty of it.
Well, no, because we do actually do a blue headset now. So if orange is not your thing, we also do blue. And if orange and blue are not your thing, we've got RGB.
There you go. And obviously, the advantage with RGB, you can still make it orange if you want to.
Absolutely.
So, right. Okay. So, let's have a look. So, Linux lovers saying had more storage ability than the newer ones, up to 7 hard drive. Yeah, it's one of those things people that don't generally have as many traditional hard drives these days with SSDs and stuff. So, yeah, I must agree there. Let's go on to a few of the other questions what have come in. So, right.
Sure.
First one is for me, actually. It's why do I keep looking to the left? The reason I keep looking that way is because I've got three screens up and I've got basically the monitoring equipment on one screen, and on the other screen over here, I've got the chat window open, what's not showing in the main chat on the right side of the screen, which I'm just turning back on now, actually. So if anyone does go into chat, it will show up on the right there.
Yeah.
So, right, next question. What's your views on plastic packaging? That's an interesting one.
Hmm. So, I mean, it depends what you're talking, because most of our packaging is not plastic anyway. So, in our kind of entry level price point cases, up to kind of mid range price point, we use the standard, polystyrene and cardboard for our cases. In any of our cases that are kind of the higher end, a little bit heavier, we actually use EPE foam, uh, which is a premium foam, and it just helps to protect the case a little bit better. Uh, where obviously there is some plastic packaging, it tends to be in the peripherals. But I guess we are getting better at it. There's a lot more cardboard. There's a lot more cardboard there now. Uh, you know, my thoughts personally is definitely like to get away from one-use plastic. Single-use plastics, which obviously, you know, is is something obviously the whole world's trying to do. Uh, but yeah, I mean, a lot of our products are more cardboard based in terms of packaging. So, certainly all the PSUs are our cooling products, you know, um, all the inserts and everything, uh, where the radiators go in and the pumps go in and that sort of thing. It's all cardboard. So yeah, as I say, the only one really that's got plastic packaging is the headsets, and it's just to create that round. So when they sit nicely in the case, I've got one that actually opens at the front. I haven't, but yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I've just opened up the HX 330 tonight because I thought I'd try out a new headset for you guys. And yeah, as I say, it's the only bit of plastic packaging really that I think could be changed. And I'll definitely feed it back to HQ.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's something we'll have a look in the reviews, which is actually something one of the questions we've got come in as well. Yes, we're going to be reviewing some of the products. We're currently waiting for one more piece from Martin,
That's
and
on
then
its
we're
way, Phil.
basically going to. All right.
It's on its way.
It's on its way.
Yeah,
Right. Well,
it is.
once that part's with us, we'll get on with the reviews. We've got the two cases, power supply, water cooler. I think it was off the top of my head.
That's right.
So they'll be reviewed within the hopefully the next few weeks, depending on obviously when the part gets to us, and then we'll get on with the reviews. So we'll have a look at the plastic packaging for you then, and give you some feedback. So that's pretty good. And this goes along the next question with the bit I'm waiting for. Are the coolers LGA 1700 compatible?
So yes and no. So the coolers we have in stock at the moment, they don't have the bracket in the box. I've got a number of brackets en route. They should have already been with us. Obviously, the 12th gen's been out for a little while now, but they're en route. So I should be getting the first lot of those within the next week or so. So
Okay.
we'll be sending brackets out FOC to anybody who obviously buys one. The new stock that obviously comes through. So we've got quite small stock levels on the all-in-one coolers now. So the new stock that will be coming through will have the bracket in the box as standard.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I'm gonna say, I'm guessing you're getting lots of delays with everything going on around the world at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, we launched in the pandemic, Phil. As I mentioned right
Yeah.
at the beginning of the call, so it's been a real challenging 2 years. We've had many months of stockouts across the 2 year span. Logistics costs. I'm sure you guys all know, but container prices went up 10 times. In terms of costs. So it's been challenging, and I'm sure you've all noticed price increases on every brand. It's not just ourselves yet. So yeah, it's been a real challenging time, but we're making good traction.
Yeah, that's good. Let's hope certain dictators around the world don't cause any more issues going
Yeah,
forward.
indeed.
So, right, let's go on to Kunal's question. So I'll stick that on the screen. Do you provide marketing assets like pens, charges, etc., for giveaways to spread the word? With financial year end coming, lots of budgets open to be spent.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, we haven't had many marketing assets since we relaunched back in the UK, and mainly that's because we've not. Um, you- eh, yeah, start again. We've not been able to do any exhibitions or events, and that's normally when we get the marketing assets into the UK. But if it's something you're looking for, I can certainly lean on HQ to get some sent over.
Yeah, let us know, guys. If there's certain types of marketing you want, and if it's specifically pens, I usually find pens don't do much for me. But posters, whatever, just give them a shout out, and obviously I'll pass it on to Martin, and you can go from there. And I think that answer what you just said there leads on to the next question. We've got an event coming up on the 24th of June called Tech Max. Will Cougar be attending?
We will indeed.
There we go.
And yeah, just working out logistics on that because Phil, I found out it's my girlfriend's birthday on the same day. So I'm just working on a plan to I'm working on a plan to have her entertained for the day by her friends, so I can come to Tech Max. But somebody will be there from Cougar,
You
without a
could
doubt.
just take her to the evening meal and give her all the free alcohol. It should be fine.
She likes a drink.
So, but in basics, you'll be there one way or
We will
another.
be there. Yeah, we will be there with a good range of products to show you guys.
Okay, that's pretty good. And obviously, hopefully, if you've got some marketing stuff by then, you'll be bringing that as well and
Indeed,
spreading it out as well. So
indeed.
it's good way to meet these guys. If you've not been to a trade show before, guys, and this is sort of a self plug, but it's an ideal thing to meet all the vendors. I think the first time I met Martin was actually at a trade show. I think it was one of the Target ones, if I
It
remember
was
right.
indeed, mate. Many moons ago
So
now.
Yes, exactly. It seems like a long time ago, and that's how I've met most of the vendors is usually through this. And because of this, you tend to build up sort of a special relationship, a bit like UK and America has, and so forth, where you can sort of maybe get certain things done, get questions answered a bit quicker, rather than if you were going straight to your distributor. If you can speak directly to the main guy, well, nothing better than doing that rather than having to jump through rings and loops and so forth to actually get the answer you want. And if you could just send a quick email over to him or even give him a call and say, "Hey, do you know ABC?" and he'll say yes or no straight
Yeah,
away
I
for
mean, to
you.
be honest, Phil, I'm happy for you to put my email address up on screen. Anybody who wants to take it down, I'm pretty good at answering emails. I will come back to you, even if it's a yes or a no.
Do me a favor then, Martin. In the private chat at the bottom left, just type it in there for me so I can just copy and paste it, so it saves me looking it up. Uh, with everything what's going on. So yeah, guys, if there's anything else you wanted to know, if there are specific things like marketing assets you are wanting or whatever, let us know. Show us on screen, and then we can go from there. So I'll stick up Martin's. Let me just do copy email address and stick that on the screen now for everyone to see. Martin, ooh, spell it correctly.
I was going to say this is where you
Martin.
stick it up on screen and realise I've spelt it wrong.
There we go. I've been speaking to Martin with a Y in it today, so I knew you were nearly Martin with a Y. So
How is Mr. Kirby?
it wasn't actually him.
Oh, was it not?
No, it
Oh,
was
that's
someone else.
interesting because
There you
it's
go.
not so popular with a Y.
Yeah, it isn't, to be honest with you. Until obviously Martin Kirby, it was. I've only met one other person with a Y, I think. So,
Yeah,
but there we go.
exactly.
But
Yeah. So
Martin,
yeah, I was just
oh,
gonna say
sorry.
my email's on screen, guys. So if you're looking for any help, advice, you've got any questions, just hit me up.
That's it. And for anyone who's listening rather than watching, yeah, that email address is Martin without the Y .wood at cougargaming.com. So it gives you a rough idea. So there we go. I'll leave that on for a few minutes for you. Right. Kunal's asking, where can we get online marketing material? Is there like web banners, social media assets, or anything like
So
that?
I mean, we have some stuff on our website. So there's obviously some images. We've got all the product PDFs on there, so they're really easy to download as such. Web banners and social media assets. I mean, obviously, join our social media channels because there's lots of stuff that you can steal from there. If you're looking for something in particular, drop me an email and I can get it created for you.
Yeah, pretty good answer for that one. Right. Next one was, who are the OEMs for the power supplies?
That's a company called Heck, which is owned by the same group.
There you go. So we'll be reviewing one of their power supplies shortly, so I'll let you know how good it is. So it better be good, Martin, otherwise you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Oh, okay. This question, what we had before, was about marketing materials. You've already answered that one. Right. So, what new products will we see from Cougar in the future? Is there any hints or anything of any new products or ranges that you may have not mentioned?
Well, maybe I could flick up the roadmap. Let me just have a quick look through here. Hopefully, you guys
Have a
can
quick
still
look
see.
through.
Yeah,
Ex-
yeah. I mean, obviously, there's lots of new chairs come in, which is an area that they're putting some focus on. We've got lots of new cases coming out. So, uh, if any of you guys know the Panzer range, which has been around for quite a while now, under lots of different connotations. So we're actually bringing a Panzer family out. So there's going to be a full tower Panzer 800, a Panzer 600, a Panzer 400. So we're going to be obviously carrying on that range. It's pretty funky. It's a little bit different. We've got some of these guys I haven't been privy to. I've seen the names. So we've got a new QBX coming out as well. As I mentioned earlier, the QBX was one of our top selling sort of mini ITX cases for a long, long time. So we're bringing out a new actual QBX. We're bringing out a replace. Well, I'm not sure where it's going to replace, but we're bringing out a new iconic called uh, uh, the Kratos, or Kratos. Who knows how they pronounce it, but I can find that out for you guys. So that's going to be obviously quite interesting because that'll be an interesting case for modders and for events and that sort of thing.
I'm
Uh,
glad I'm not the only one who has problems pronouncing some of these brand names and models sometimes.
oh,
Sometimes
I
I read
know.
and I'm going through the list and I'm going, my God, how the hell do I pronounce that?
Yeah,
But yeah,
I mean, I'm just looking through my roadmap. It's quite interesting, guys. I mean, it's almost like they took a picture of the case and then a 5-year-old scribbled all over it with crayon, so you can't actually see the case. But there's some specs out there as such as well. We've got interestingly, guys, we're bringing out some air coolers. So for people you know who who don't want to put water cooling in their products, we've got some air coolers coming out very soon. VIP have them on order with us at the moment, which is the first two products, which is the Forza 50 and the Forza 75. There's going to be an RGB version, of course, coming out on that side. We've got the new Poseidon all-in-one water cooler and the Poseidon GT RGB. So again, full RGB, really interesting looking product. really nice pump design as well to complement your builds. Just bear me a second, guys. Just flicking through this presentation just to see what else is kind of new. Again, peripherals wise, as I mentioned to you, the slice, which is ultra thin. I mean, it's less than 20 millimeters in height, including the keys. So that's super thin. And we've got some Minion portable keyboards coming out as well. So anybody who does LAN parties, don't want to take a full size keyboard with them, as well as obviously carrying their rigs. That's coming out. Some new interesting products on the mice side of things. So we've got this product which we'll be launching, which is the dual blader. It comes with lots. You can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Just checking. Yeah, it comes with lots of customizable features. So depending on the size of your hand, whether you're left or right, so it's ambidextrous as well. Where you rest your thumb, where you put your little finger. So it's fully customizable. I've got that upside down actually. So that's coming out to the market. We've got some new mice coming as well. So the Air Blader, which is a super light mouse for the people who don't like a heavy mouse of playing. And then we kind of move on to some of the new streaming products. I've already mentioned the Screamer X, which is already available now, but we're bringing out some some more kind of collaborative stuff. So there's going to be a 360 camera for when streamers have got more more people in a room. We're actually bringing out some desks, some stands for the microphones as well. Because as we know, the streaming market has blown up. It's gone mental. So there's mic stands, speaker stands, laptop arms, and things. Just really kind of help streamers to manage their desk space when they're streaming away.
A 360 camera sounds pretty good. Probably good if you got them out for Tech Max. We could do a tour around Tech Max with everyone on a 360.
Yeah, well, I'll see if I can get hold of one, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
As we know as well, obviously we've got the EMARS coming out, which I mentioned earlier, which is a dual motor, 150 centimeter wide desk with all the toys on it. Type C hub, lots of RGB on there, and then there's some more desks planned as well for sort of Q3, Q4 as well, because the desk market, is, I must admit, when I opened an office, I was buying desks. There is to buy a desk, but with the gaming desk, you've got obviously all the facilities for gaming, but again, can be used as an office desk, and they're priced really well.
Sounds pretty good.
Headsets wise, I mean, obviously we've got some new headsets coming out. The wireless headsets, headsets for obviously the PlayStations, the Xboxes, that sort of thing. Some more microphones and that sort of thing. I think what's that? That's the orb. We've got a new docking hub that's coming out. I mean, that's not really setting the world alight, but it has got RGB on it.
Well, there you go. So it looks like you've got quite a few things coming out. Sounds like the new product every week, near enough.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
that's pretty good.
yeah, they're coming thick and fast at the moment, 100%. It's just delays with containers. It just takes a while to get them out into the market.
Right, okay, let me just go to one last question for Linux Lover, and then we've got a couple more questions in. So if anyone else does have any more questions before we end the show, because we're getting close to the end of the show, please send them in now. So Linux Lover says, do they plan to re-release anything non-RGB? Fans like the Cougar Vortex line. So he's basically wanting non-RGB stuff. Have you thought of anything like that?
Yeah, so I mean, Uh, as far as I'm aware, most of our fan kits all come with RGB now. It's kind of what the market uh, actually requires, but you can actually switch them off. You
Yeah.
so you can switch the RGB off within the software. But I mean, in terms of RGB, we've got some cases coming that don't have as much RGB on them as well for people who don't want RGB. To be honest, if it was, I mean, yeah, I've got an RGB keyboard and RGB mouse, but I don't have it switched on all the time. So I understand there is a market out there who don't want all RGB. So we're trying
That's
to
it. I'm
cater,
gonna say.
we're trying to cater for both.
Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea RGB, especially with some creators rather than gamers and so forth like that, or home users. But then again,
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
it's it's everyone's cup of tea, and I must admit we've sold plenty of cases over the last year, RGB cases, and we've just turned the RGB setting off on them or just disconnected it so they couldn't put the RGB on because they
Yeah.
just didn't want it. So it's easy enough to do in most cases. Right, so got the same question again. Where can I get Cougar products from? If you want to just tell us again, Martin.
Yeah, so our two distributors are VIP Computers, and they carry our full range of PSU cooling and case. They will be extending the range. They are obviously our newest distributor. Launched, I think it was November last year, if I remember rightly, and it's gone really well with them guys. And then we also work with Boss Computers as well. So Boss carry pretty much the full range of products that we have launched in the UK right now.
Right, that's
So
pretty good.
plenty of choice.
There you go. Got plenty of choice there. Another question. Do you need to be VAT registered? That's obviously, I'm guessing, purchasing from VIP. I know the answer to that one, so that's no, you don't have to be.
Oh,
So I don't know about Boss though. I don't know if you know the answer on that one, Martin.
no, you don't need to be VAT registered. You can buy from them still.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't have to be anything special there. So that's pretty good. Um, What makes you different from other similar brands? I won't say what those brands are because the show's about you, but what
No,
makes you what makes you different?
so, I mean, look, it's very hard to differentiate yourself completely in this market because, there's a lot of, there's a lot of competitors out there all doing very, very similar things. Where, Cougar tries to have a USP is, really good quality, feature-rich products at an affordable price. You know, when you look at kind of entry-level products in the market, in terms of entry-level price point, a lot of the time they're using a thinner metal for the cases, for example, or they're using a cheaper capacitor in the PSUs. What we try and do is put as many, quality features into a product, but try and retain, that kind of entry level price point or that, bang for buck, type price point.
That's
Uh,
without
you know,
cutting any corners or something like
yeah,
that.
exactly,
Mm.
exactly. And one thing I would like to just say, guys, is, you'd, uh, if you were competing against the likes of, say, Scan, for example, no, all the scans are really bad. Let's talk about eBuyer. So, eBuyer carry a full range, but we don't discount the product to them just because they're eBuyer. So, your price point would be the same as what eBuyer purchases at the moment. It's like, we haven't gone into the market like a lot of our competition where, they'll supply the likes of Amazon or eBuyer, at special pricing, which means the smaller guys, don't get looking and can't compete. Well, we decided to address that when we relaunched Cougar into the market. So we don't have a tier one price point and then a tier, four price point as such. The price is the price.
Okay, that sounds pretty good to be honest with you. Yeah, I must admit we've come across that quite often where it's cheaper sometimes to get it off of a big box store than you can actually get it from a distributor, some different brands and stuff. So it's nice to hear that you've actually gone ahead and done that. So that's definitely a plus. It gives everyone a chance,
It
then
does.
no matter if you're big or small. Next is Kunal about spares. So this is a good one because I do have a question about spares. So we'll go to his first.
Yep.
He says, for gaming chairs, do you keep spares in the UK? For example, the wheels,
So
etc.
we have a let's call it a box of spares, sat in Boss, in the distributor in Boss. Uh, we have um, obviously for gaming chairs, wheels and certain nuts and that sort of thing. Some of the plastic covers that obviously go over the sides once they've bolted in. So we have those. So if and also what we will do is HQ will send out spares really quickly for us if we need it, especially for something like a chair. So there was a case where some of the plastic, one of the plastic covers just, it wouldn't fit on. I don't know if it was a design issue with that particular chair or something. It was really, really strange. But we needed a new spare kit for the chair, and it was out from HQ and in the customer's hand within 7 days. Uh, but most of the time, Kamal, because we've got stock sat in the distributor, if you need a spare, we'll take it off one of the products and we'll use that product as a spare. So it's like we'll take a gaming chair off the warehouse shelf, and if it's a set of wheels that's needed, we'll take the wheels out of it, and make sure the customer's happy and sorted within a matter of 24 to 48 hours, and then all we'll do is replace it when the HQ send it out to us. So we're pretty good. You know, it's easy to deal with us. We want to make it as easy as possible for you guys. And not to have to stress. I mean, there's no point in sending back a chair. As I noticed in your comments, because the cost for you guys to ship it back to the distributor or from where it's come from to then obviously get a replacement is just, it means your profits. It means it's eating away at your profit, and that's not what we're about. We want you guys to make as much profit as you can off Cougar.
That's pretty good. That is. I'm going to say he's following that up basically with what you were saying. So often had other vendors who have missing parts and need the entire chair going back and stuff like that. And I've also got someone saying roughly the same thing about cases. So, for example, if there was a broken switch or like the power button or
Yep.
something broken on the case, would they have to send the whole product back?
No.
Or would you be able to send them just the part they need, but with them being a technician, they know how to change the front cover or
Yeah.
whatever with ease?
Yeah. We would just send out the part you need. Whether it's a top IO or whether it's some feet or as Phil says, a button, or even if it's an RGB controller that's not working in the case, we'll send out the part you need or parts you need. Because
Pretty
returning
good.
products is it's a pain for us all, right?
Yeah, totally agree on that one. And Kuna's basically saying that, yeah, it's good to know cost of returning chair eats up the margin. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's one of the things I must admit when I'm looking for a new vendor to buy stuff off, I will always check their warranty terms and stuff like that. Not necessarily how long it is, but try and get in contact and say, right, if this goes wrong, do I have to send it off to wherever, or can I just get the parts, what I need, and so forth? So that's definitely good to know. So it's definitely
Yeah,
a plus
absolutely.
for me.
Talk to your distributor. Obviously whoever you bought it from, tell them what you need, and they'll get in contact with me. If you want to bypass the distributor for any reason, for speed wise, just email me directly, and I'll
There we
be in
go, and
touch.
I'll put his email address back up on the screen for you. There you go. Right, let's have a look. What else? Well, it's basically saying if we find it easier sending items back to a distributor, do we have to send them back to the manufacturer or the distributor? Which I think you sort of answered in that question there, to be honest with
Yeah,
you. But
if it's something that we can't send a replacement product, part out for you. So, for an example, a PSU, we wouldn't expect you to take it apart and start changing capacitors and resistors in there. So it just goes back to the distributor. Distributor will either give you a credit or send you a new one out.
that sounds pretty good. And I think that's all the questions we've done. So that's pretty good. We're just a fraction over the hour. I know we started a little bit later with because of technical issues, we'll say. but we've done
Yeah, sorry, guys.
pretty well for the hour. So not your fault. Well, mainly anyway. But
Yeah. A
right.
200 band that doesn't seem to want to work.
That's how things go, unfortunately, with live shows. It's the same as in real life. Obviously, if you meet people in person, sometimes things happen, cars break down, get stuck
Exactly.
in traffic, and so forth. So you just have to be flexible sometimes. Right, okay, guys. So that's pretty much it for the show. Do you want to leave us with any parting thoughts, Martin, about Cougar and why people should just go out today and buy Cougar, or at least consider you for a brand to start stocking?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as I said before, Cougars, we've got a big range of products, so there's something for everybody in there. We try and keep really good features in the products uh, without obviously costing you the earth in there. Uh, you know, there's lots of our competitors, out there that are doing great things. But if you want good margin and you don't want to be competing against the big boys, come and talk to me. Come and buy Cougar.
There you go. I think you finished that one off. Right, guys, let me just run you through what shows we've got coming off or coming on in the next few weeks. Right, so we've got next week, we have got Sam at Replace Your Tech, or forget the name of the company now, or ALM, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's basically a show about hard drives, as in what do you do with all the old hard drives you take out of machines? Do you scrap them and so forth? Well, this show is going to tell you how you can actually make money from it, and I'll actually tell you how I actually used the service and made money myself. So you can actually return all your old hard drives, SSDs included. He'll send you a box. You stick it all in a box, send it to him, or you don't even need to send it to him. Someone comes and collects it for you. It doesn't cost you a penny, and then basically they'll go through, safely destroy them, give you certificates, and then they'll give you money for it. So that's definitely a show to look out for. That's next Thursday at 6 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Get the time right. So that's next Thursday at 8 o'clock. The week after, we do have Target components on the show. So we'll be talking to Target's new managing director, as well as the past managing director, so Paul Cubbage and Michael Lawrence is the new managing director at Target. So we'll be talking to them live on the show. That show will be on at 2 p.m. So that's 2 weeks' time on Thursday at 2 p.m. rather than 8 p.m. So you'll get to talk to them. And we do have a few other shows coming up, including shows with Microsoft and VIP as well. So we'll post out more dates closer to the time about that. So again, everyone, thank you for joining. Thank you for being on the show, Martin, and showing us off everything you've got and basically what your products can do for us. So
Thank you for the opportunity, Phil. And
that's
thanks everybody who's listening.
That's it. They've all spent the Thursday night listening all about your cases and PSUs and stuff. So it looks like we've had plenty of interest, especially with the amount of questions what have come in. So if anyone is interested, though, we've mentioned Tech Max a few times on the show. So if you want to meet Martin in person, that's if his was it your girlfriend or your wife? I forget which one it was
girlfriend,
now.
Yeah.
Girlfriend. Don't want to put you in a situation there, but his girlfriend, if he can get away from his girlfriend on the night or the day, he'll be there one way or the other. So you can actually talk to Martin at TechMax. If you don't know what TechMax is, it's a trade show on the 24th of June. We're going to have up to around about 50 vendors. 400-500 guests are going there. We've even got an evening meal for like 180 people. It's going to be huge. It's at Bramall Lane in Sheffield, which is the Sheffield United football ground. We've basically hired the whole stadium, and it's basically a show for tech, so repair people, MSPs, anyone like that, vendors, distributors, and so forth. And I'll just play you a little clip for that on the way out. If you just stay online, Martin, and I'll have a word with you in a second just after this clip. So goodbye, everyone, and have fun watching this clip. Can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you? Strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors and meet some of the biggest names in the industry. where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow, where there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. And what's more, you get all that for £1. TechMax 2022 will be on the 24th of June at Bramall Lane, the Sheffield United football stadium in Sheffield. There will be around 50 different brands available for you to meet and up to 500 other techs just like you. Get registered now at techmax2022.com.